Malad was a place full of life. It was a suburb in the big city of Mumbai, but it felt like its own little world. The streets were always busy. Yellow and black auto rickshaws buzzed past like giant bees. People walked everywhere. They were going to the market, to the station, or just for a morning stroll. The air smelled of many things at once. There was the sweet scent of jasmine flowers sold by women on the pavement. There was the spicy smell of vada pav cooking at a roadside stall. And sometimes, after the rain, there was the earthy smell of wet soil from the nearby gardens. Life in Malad was a river of sounds, sights and smells, flowing from morning until late at night. Every lane and every building had a story. Old bungalows with sloping red-tiled roofs stood next to tall new apartment buildings. In the mornings, the vegetable vendors would call out their prices. Their voices were a familiar song to the residents. School children in neat uniforms would rush along, their bags bouncing on their backs. Pigeons would gather on windowsills, cooing softly. The sun would shine down on everything, making the leaves on the trees look bright green. It was a place where everyone knew their neighbors, and a friendly smile was easy to find. Malad was not just a place on a map. It was a home with a warm and beating heart. The markets were the most colourful part of Malad. Orlam Market was a maze of small shops. You could find anything you wanted there. There were shops selling shiny bangles in all the colours of the rainbow. There were stalls piled high with fresh fruits and vegetables. The bright red of tomatoes sat next to the deep green of spinach. The shopkeepers sat on stools, calling out to people passing by. They would chat with their customers like old friends. Children loved the market. It was a place of wonderful discoveries, where a simple shopping trip could turn into a small adventure. Even the sounds of Malad were special. The distant rumble of a train arriving at the station was a constant rhythm. The cheerful chatter of people in the evenings filled the air. Birds sang from the banyan trees in the parks. During festivals, the streets would come alive with music and laughter. The noise was not just noise. It was the sound of life being lived. It was the sound of a community, a big family sharing a small, wonderful corner of the world. It was a place where every day brought something new, even if it was just a small, simple thing. Near a quiet corner of Malad was Liberty Garden. This was the favorite place of three friends. There was Rohan, who was 10 years old. He was thoughtful and loved to read books under the big Gulmohar tree. He knew many stories and interesting facts. Then there was Priya, who was also 10.